welcome to a new video. So it is the 1st of August, which means the NEWTs have begun. So I'm going to split this vlog into two, so there will be two vlogs, two parts to the NEWTs vlog. I will upload one roughly halfway through the month, so that will be this one, and then I will upload part 2 at the end of the month. So it's 10 to 1, I've been doing some things this morning. You'll see that in the weekly vlogs as usual. They are still going ahead even though I'm also vlogging the NEWTs. So I am going to start some reading now because I want to, if you watch my TBR, first of all I suggest you go and watch it, but also I said I wanted to get the ACOTAR Thorns and Roses trilogy read fairly quickly. However, in order to do that, there are a couple of books I need to read first. Because of the way the NEWTs is set out, I have to read a few books to unlock some of them. The first book in the trilogy is an A, which means I don't need to unlock it. However, the third one is an O. However, it's in the same category as the first book, which means that I can read the first book in the trilogy as normal. There is a book in between, however it's a non-fiction, that is This Book Will Help You Change the World by Sue Turton. I will be reading that, but just not yet, because obviously I have to read ACOTAR Thorns and Roses first before I can read that. So that will be a little bit of a break in between reading some of the books in the trilogy, but before I can do any of that I need to unlock the second book in the trilogy, because the second book falls under O in potions. So in order to unlock that one before I can start reading the trilogy, I need to read The Truth About Magic, which I have here. This is the one I'm going to start with because it's a poetry book, so it's not going to take me very long to read at all. And then I also need to read The Trouble with Perfect by Helena Duggan, and then that will unlock the second book in the trilogy. So once I've read these two, I can then go ahead and start reading the ACOTAR Thorns and Roses. I hope this is making sense because this one is a little bit more complicated. So yeah, the first book I'm going to be reading is A Truth About Magic, and I'm also at the same time going to be reading Feminism Is. This one I don't need to read to unlock any of the trilogy. However, I want to try and get as many books ticked off at the beginning of the month as possible while I'm still very motivated, just in case anything happens in the middle, you know? So these two I'm going to read and finish both of these today. That's the plan. It's not just the plan, that's what's going to happen. So yeah, I think I'm going to start with this one. I don't usually like to read poetry books all in one go, so I'll probably read half of this, read this, and then come back to this. So that will sort of be today's reading. And then tomorrow I will read the entirety of The Trouble with Perfect, which will then leave me free at the beginning of a new week on Monday to start reading the ACOTAR Thorns and Roses trilogy. So yeah, I really hope that will make sense because I know this one's a bit more complicated, but that's the plan. I got 2 books to read today, 1 book to read tomorrow, until we can get into a full new week. So yeah, with that I have 17 books to read, so I'm just gonna get reading. So I actually just finished it. Yeah, I was gonna stop and like read some other stuff and do some stuff in between, but then I was like, it doesn't take that long to read, so I just finished it, which means I've now achieved an acceptable in potions. It also means that I've now unlocked The Trouble with Perfect, so I can read that tomorrow, which will then in turn unlock the second Sarah J Maas book I'm reading. So yeah, I think, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to rate this yet. I think probably 4 stars, I think. Can we just appreciate the cover again? Because like, it's so gorgeous. But yeah, this one fitted the prompt of sky on the cover or in the title. Obviously it has sky on the cover, which is gorgeous. So you know, I am now actually going to have a break though. I've got a few videos to edit and I've got some photos to edit as well. So I'm just going to do like, they're just like little nitbitty things. I just need to finish some stuff off. And I also need to have lunch because I'm hungry. And then I will get to reading Feminism Is, which will, once I finish this one, that will mean I have also achieved an acceptable in arithmancy, I think, which will be a pretty good first day of the readathon, really. So yeah, I'm going to get on with some stuff and I will get back to reading later. I have finished book 2 of the readathon. It's 6:30 and I'm 2 books in basically, which is really impressive. I'm going to leave my reading there for the day because I've been reading for quite a while. I gave Feminism is 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really, really good. Obviously it's not like, it wasn't necessarily an enjoyable read because it's not fiction, it is a non-fiction, but I thought it was very informative because obviously it's about feminism. Like, it was laid out in a way that like anyone can understand. Like, you could give it to an 11-year-old and they would understand it perfectly, I think. And it was very inclusive, and so it discussed not only just feminism, but it also, you know, included the fact that it's intersectional. You cannot, you know, argue one case without another. You know, you have to take into account race and class and disability and age and everything else in between, you know. And I thought it handled it really well, and it was like it was really unbiased as well. So it was just, it gave you the facts and it didn't necessarily put an opinion on them, which I think was really good. So yeah, it got 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. I have finished book 3 of the readathon. Yes, it is Sunday, it's 25 to 2 in the afternoon, and I've just finished The Trouble with Perfect by Helena Duggan. I think I'm probably gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's a children's book, so I rate it slightly differently. So I think it probably gets like a 4.5 as a children's book, but if I had to rate it compared to every book I've ever read, it would probably be more like a 3, but I don't think that's particularly fair, so I tend to rate books based on their genre. So for a children's book, it was really good. But it does now mean that I have unlocked the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, which means I can go ahead and start that trilogy. So tomorrow I will be starting A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas, but in the meantime, I've read 3 books in 2 days, which is pretty damn good. It also means that I've achieved an A in arithmancy and an E in potions so far. That's where I'm at so far. So yeah, I have been reading for like 4 hours straight though, so I'm gonna go play Skyrim now, and I will get back to reading tomorrow. Okay, not gonna lie, I have no idea when the last time I talked to you was in this vlog. But it's Sunday. I still haven't changed my calendar to August. Wow. It's Sunday the 9th of August, and I will try and remember to change my calendar after I finished filming this. So the last few days have been a little bit slower on the reading because I haven't been sleeping very well, and I've just been busy doing lots of other stuff. If you watch the vlogs, then you'll know I've been really freaking busy. And I mean, I'm still really freaking busy, but I am slightly behind, so I need to catch up. So I am still on A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I'm like this much of the way through. I'm on page 260, chapter 30. I have a lot of thoughts on it so far, and like, I mean, the only way I can describe it is like, I love it, but it's trash. that's the only way I can like think about it. It's like Twilight back in the day. Like, it's great when you're reading it and it's just like, it's complete and utter trash, but you can't help but love it. You know, I am going to be doing an in-depth review for this trilogy once I finish reading them. But yeah, for now, my thoughts are just not very coherent. I also have zero idea how I'm going to rate this because, like, I really enjoyed reading it, but also, like, it doesn't deserve a high rating because it is trash. So we'll see. But yeah, I am going to sit and carry on reading this, and then I'm going to go shopping with my mum and sit in the car while she does the shopping, finish reading it, probably play some Animal Crossing, and then I'm going to try and start... Let me get it. I'm also going to try and start This Book Will Help You Change the World. Like, I just want to start it, basically, because this will then unlock the 3rd book in the trilogy. So then, once I've read this, I'll then read book 2 and 3, and then carry on with the rest of the readathon, basically. I am glad that I chose to read the trilogy fairly early on, though, because as expected, it is what's giving me the most friction. Not because I'm not enjoying it, because I am enjoying it. It's just like... it's a lot, you know, because it's high fantasy and it's trash, but it's great trash, you know. But yeah, I do actually kind of just want to carry on reading it now, so I'm going to shut up and I'm going to continue reading. It's the 29th of August. So clearly this month hasn't gone to plan. So I haven't got the blindest idea when the last time I spoke to you was, but I'm gonna update you anyway. Basically, August just didn't work out for me. I spent like 2 weeks in a basically constant depression nap, so there wasn't much reading, and I'm not gonna lie, 90% of that is this fucking book's fault. Okay? I have so many thoughts on this, so let's just start and then I will explain what's happening with the NEWTs. So, I finished 4 books in August. The first 3 I've already talked about, so we won't waste time with that. This was the 4th one, and this broke my soul. Okay? Now, I'm still undecided on the rating. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, because you can't do like half stars on Goodreads, but in reality I think it's more like a 3.75 out of 5. Like, I have so many feelings, because it's one of those books that it hurts that I can't even put it into words. It's like, you know, when something like it hurts emotionally so much that your brain is almost like, we're in so much pain, but you know that like there must be something wrong with us, so it makes like here hurt, you know. So yeah, that's what happened basically, and that, like, I couldn't even think about picking up the second book, because every time I did I actually felt like I was gonna throw up a little bit, because it just broke me. I am still gonna end up doing a review when I finish the series, but so I'm not going to go into like super loads of details, but I am just going to cover the few points. And I'm also going to put this book down because I'm going to be talking for a while. So yeah, I think the world building was great, honestly. Loved the world building. It was really original. I thought it was like the world building was really excellent. First of all, something I just wanted to note on, I thought it was really funny that the main character, her name is Feyre, as in Fae, and like the whole book is about fairies, but of course she's like a human, so it's like funny, because I'm like, really, your life was always destined to go that way, because like they literally named you Fae. So yeah, I thought that was quite funny. So yeah, like the world building was really good. I don't really know how I feel about the characters, really. Like, I liked them. I don't feel that they're necessarily the best written characters I've ever read, but they're also not terrible. They're just like, yeah, you know, they're fine. And of course it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I'm not sure really where the next 2 fall into that, because this is the whole plot line of Beauty and the Beast, and then it ends, so I assume that the next 2 are sort of then not really Beauty and the Beast related, because there's not a part 2 to Beauty and the Beast as far as I'm aware. So I assume it'll then do its own thing. So it meant that this one was slightly more predictable, because obviously I know the Beauty and the Beast story, so it was, you know. But I thought the way she did the parallels between this world and Beauty and the Beast was really good. My one main issue with it was, I don't even really know how to put it, but if you've read the book, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but if you've read it, Fire Knight, no, absolutely not. I hated that to my core, and it really disgusts me, if I'm being honest. So if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I did not like that. And I think I really have to wait and read the other 2 books before I can make any other final comments on the relationships in general, because again, I don't want to give anything away, but like, for now, aside from the Fire Night bullshit, like, I feel like the relationships are alright. Not necessarily the best ever, but like, they're fine. However, I know that a lot of people talk about how they don't like Sarah J Maas because the relationships are very abusive, and I'm not sure if that's Throne of Glass or A Court of Thorns and Roses or both, so I'll have to wait for the other two, because I feel like there's probably a love triangle coming up, but I hate that so much because I'm like, there's no need for a love triangle at all. So yeah, we'll see how I feel about the next ones, but yeah, this broke me, essentially. I just couldn't function. So now that I've told you my thoughts about that book, let's talk about the actual notes. So obviously it's the 29th, like there's 2.5 days left. I ain't completing it in the time frame. But as it stands currently, I've got an A in arithmancy, an A in herbology, and an E in potions. So I read 4 in total. I'm not going to finish it in the time frame. I accepted that weeks ago. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm essentially just going to carry on with my TBR and just forget the time limit. So like, I'm still gonna complete the NEWTs, but it just won't be within August, because like, it's not the same anyway because it's not being hosted properly and stuff this year. So yeah, and I just, after that book, I was just like, I can't life anymore, and I did nothing for 2 weeks because I was so broken. So yeah, I'm gonna try and pick up the pace from here on in, as if I was still doing like a readathon, and I'm gonna try and get them read before I go back to college, which is, well, honestly I have no idea when that is, because originally it's not meant to be until like the first week of October, but then the official term dates start on the 14th of September, and then I've got this induction thing, which is apparently a new thing, on the 15th, so I don't know what's happening basically, but you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna carry on and just enjoy the readathon, even though it's technically over. And my like canon excuse is that when I do exams, obviously in like the real world, not that I do any of those anymore, but when I did do exams, I had extra time because of my disabilities. So this is gonna be like, because obviously the NEWTs is like the wizarding exam, so I'm like, it's fine that I didn't do it in the time frame because I have extra time. So that's what we're going with, okay? So yeah, that being said, the book I'm moving on to next is This Book Will Help You Change the World by Sue Turton. This one is an E in herbology, so yeah, I'm just going to carry on and just enjoy it. And then I honestly don't know when I'm going to pick up the next A Court of Thorns and Roses book, because like, once I've read this one, then I can technically finish the other 2 in the series at any point, because I don't need to read them to unlock anything else. So I think I will probably just leave them until last at this point, because the idea originally was that I knew that they're the heaviest and most like high fantasy books on the list, so I wanted to get them out of the way, but that clearly didn't go to plan because it shattered my soul. So I think I'm gonna read this one, so that then A Court of Wings and Ruin is unlocked, and then I'm just going to carry on with the rest of the TBR and then come back to the series, because I just can't. So yeah, that being said, I am actually going to end this vlog here. So this will be part 1, and then I will continue vlogging the NEWTs in, I don't know if I'll have to split it into 3 parts this time, because I don't know how long this one's going to be, and because I still have the majority of my TBR to go, I might have to split it into another 2, but we'll see. This is going to be part 1, so yeah, this is the end of this vlog, and we'll see what happens with the rest of them, shall we? Yeah, so if you took part in the NEWTs, then tell me how you've gotten on. Hopefully it's better than me. So yeah, like it if you enjoyed, comment down below, tell me how you've been doing, tell me also if you failed, so I might feel a little bit better. And tell me what you've read, how you've liked it, and also please tell me your thoughts on A Court of Thorns and Roses, but no spoilers, I've only read the first book. So yeah, because I'm very conflicted. So yeah, subscribe to see the next 1 or maybe 2 parts of this vlog, and I will see you in the next video.